Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see political science, its nature, and some of its approaches. So, what is political science? We will have to start with that. What is political science? Political science is systematic study of politics. Right? Political science, systematic study of politics. Why Plato is called father of political philosophy? Because his work was encyclopedic. His book Republic talked about politics. I think his book chapter 6 of his book Republic was related to politics. Rest were related to family and all other aspects of life. So Republic was an encyclopedic book. That is why Plato is known as father of political philosophy. But Aristotle is known as father of political science because in his book Polity, Polity, he talks about and analyzes constitution. He talks about state. He talks about he talks about uh, everything that is related to state, justice, citizenship, all those things, equality. He talks about. Plato does not. Plato does not do that. Plato is more encyclopedic. So Aristotle, as father of political science, in his book Polity, calls political science to be master science. Master science. What is master or what is science? It is it is a discipline for masters. Who are masters? Legislators, executors, adjudicators, right? MP, MLA, bureaucracy, judges, everything that is related to state and at everyone that holds a prominent position within state is a master. So state and people controlling state are masters, and political science is a science for such masters. Why it is master science? Number one, because it is a science for masters, like legislator, executors, and adjudicators. Then why it is master science? Because it is architectonic. It is architectonic. Out of political science, you see philosophy emerging, right? Philosophy as a discipline started with Socrates. You see sociology emerging, right? Plato talks about communism. Plato talks about society. You see uh, what is the public administration emerging. In criticism of Marx, Weber gives his theory of public administration, and out of that, public administration emerged. Right. So, political science was origin of philosophy, sociology, public administration. That is why it is an architectonic discipline. It is a foundational discipline. Political science is a foundational discipline. That is why it is it is a master science. Right? It is a master science. But one thing, but one thing that, but one thing that Aristotle did not do was he did not break separate. He did not separate ethics from politics. For Aristotle, ethics and politics were one. This separation from ethics from politics was done by Machiavelli. right? We are trying to understand what is the nature of political science, whereby we tried to understood nature of political science as master science. By master science, it is a science of masters. It is architectonic. All other disciplines form from it. Then we saw if political science is ethics, Aristotle said so, but Machiavelli was the first person to differentiate between politics and ethics. So, what political science is? What political science is? Then some people said political science is study of norms. Like, what are norms? Norms are values, norms are customs. Like, they are very similar words, not synonymous but similar. So political science is study of norms. Norms like justice, equality, liberty, rights. This political science study of norms and all these norms. Then some people questioned if political science, right? Some people question if political science is study of norms. Then some people question if political science is study of state, whereby you see this quote of Garner, whereby Garner says political science begins and ends with state. Political science begins and ends with state. But then some people realize if we call our discipline political science, right? If the discipline is called political science, then we should try to make this discipline scientific. Political science is not scientific, it is philosophical. It is called science because it is systematic study of politics. But some people wanted this theory to be scientific. In political science, we call science to be positivism. So some people wanted political science to be positivistic and to be like natural science. Right? Political science is not natural science; it is philosophical. Core of political science is within philosophy. It is not within natural sciences like physics, chemistry, maths. Right? So when some people wanted to make political science a pure science, a natural science, then emerged behavioralism. Behavioral people wanted to make political science a natural science and applied science. Right? We are trying to understand how nature of political science is. Some people say it is related to ethics. Some people say it is related to state. Some people say it is related to norms such as justice, equality, rights. Some people say we want to make it pure science, natural science, applied science. That is why behavioralism came. But then behavioralist realized futility of making political science natural science, and they shifted to post behavioralism. Right? Don't get intimidated by behavioralism and post behavioralism. We will have a separate lecture on it. Post behavioralism. Right? After post behavioralism, again political science changed and it became postmodern. What is postmodern? Interpretive, right? Rejection of reason. Political science became interpretative. You realize, you realize after going through evolution and debate on nature of political science, you realize there is not a singular conception that exists within political science which defines political science. Right? So political science itself is quite meta because there are internal debates. It is meta and it is allowed to be meta because political science as a discipline is democratic. It allows people to say their views. So what is nature of political science? Even if political science is not with singular conception of political science, right? There is a singular conception of physics. That way, there is no singular conception of political science. Even then, political science allows multiple views, multiple ideas to coexist within its umbrella term. That is why, even though it is meta means there are internal debates, meta means there are multiple interpretations. Even though it is meta, even though there are internal debates are allowed to occur. That is why political science was democratic. This is the idea behind political science. This is the this is the view and evolution of political science, whereby it is not a singular conception, but it has been constantly evolving, and it is quite democratic because it has allowed multiple disciplines to exist within its ambit, right? This is the idea behind nature of political science as a discipline, right? So this was nature of political science as a discipline. From the next lecture, I'll start with approaches in political science, and I will start with traditional approach. The traditional approaches first, whereby we'll cover three approaches: philosophical or normative, historical, and empirical. Right? So thank you so much. We'll shift to approaches in political science from the next lecture. Thank you so much. Bye bye.